Which returning character are you hoping to see at the GTA 6 the most? No returning characters. I want GTA 6 to be entirely its own thing. I want it to be completely separate from GTA 6. And have absolutely nothing to do with GTA 5 or online. We've played the game for well over 12 years. We'll close that. Let's close that book and move on. Not even like a Paul McCartney type or Paul McCartney. I was like, oh, Paul McCartney returns. No, look, this is just how I personally feel though, right? In my current mind state, I don't really want anyone returning. I just want GTA 6 to be its own thing, right? If you go like, oh, hey, here's a character that makes you, or reminds you about, like, you know, a character from a previous game, then fair enough. Which generally is just like, oh, it's a Rockstar character, right? But I just think it's very important for GTA 6 to just be as little as GTA 5 as possible. Because I don't want to get into, like, I don't want to get into a Furia or, like, you know, a Banshee in GTA 6 and just immediately get the exact same, like, sound and everything, right? I want it to be different. Like, I think that's such an important thing. Like, GTA 5 has been a thing for well over 12 years. Like, you know, like closer to 13 years than closer to 12 years by the time that GTA 6 launches. And this is obviously coming straight and strictly from someone who's been playing since day one, right? So by default, my opinions are going to be a bit more on the I am dying to move on to GTA 6 point of view. Because I think, like, what's been happening with GTA Online DLCs lately is, like, they've been just relying on throwback characters and returning characters and stuff, because it's kind of also the easy thing to do. Because that way you don't have to write an entirely new character, if that makes sense. Because if you're very blunt about it, like the latest DLC, for example, with Martin Madrazo returning, it's just like, oh, hey, you know, you already have an established character. So you don't really have to worry about, like, writing, like, who this character is. Someone like Gref is kind of like, oh, he's an associate of Mr. Faber. You know, he'll just, like, say the lines that you're supposed to be hearing as the player to get instructed of what to do. So, like, to me, I think it's very important to just have GTA 6 be its own thing. Now, if it were to happen that later down the line in online DLCs, you know, you'll have a returning character here and there. But I think, like, for the sake of just allowing the community as a whole to have, like, a full-blown restart to GTA, like, with GTA 6, and just be like, okay, this has nothing to do with GTA 5, having that separation between the two games is so important. Because if there's one thing that is for certain, we are going to have a lot, and I mean a lot, of different cars from GTA 5 returning to GTA 6. We've seen it in the trailers, there's more returning cars than newer ones. So you're already going to have that problem of, like, oh, these are vehicles that, you know, we've driven before, right? So from a handling standpoint, a sound design perspective, like, from a lot of different things, it needs to feel and be different from GTA 5. So it doesn't become something that just feels like it is more GTA 5, if that makes sense. And, like, the return, like the cameos from returning characters, generally speaking in online, are kind of meaningless and just only seem to really be there just for the sake of being there, if that makes sense, right? It adds nothing to the overarching story of GTA Online, realistically speaking. Whereas something like a cameo from Becky McCreary makes sense because it had a gameplay impact, and it also, like, gives some more backdrop to, you know, why he is in LS and that sort of stuff, and, like, still kind of like this crew of, you know, seemingly, like, a little bit loose and, you know, not that professional type of thing. It's good to bring back previous characters, but it has to make sense. Just not for the fun of it. From what we've seen now, it looks like it wouldn't make any sense. No, I mean, exactly. GTA 6 at this point seems to already have, like, an established cast of characters that don't have to rely on any returning characters, which is a good thing, right? I want GTA 6 core group of people to be nothing to do with returning characters, because I think in some way having returning characters become, like, a major part of a story in, like, a GTA game, or just any game for that matter, becomes just, like, really just a bit of, like, you know, the easy way to go about it, which I personally wouldn't want. I'm not saying I want a rehashed game, I just want nods to previous games. I want to see that homeless guy from GTA 4 who finds the diamonds in the garbage, and the radio says he moved to Vice City. Yeah, but that's something different, right? When you say returning characters, right? I mean, like, actually, like, you know, them having an active, you know, involvement within the story and stuff like that. Like, if the homeless guy from GTA 4 at the end of the Battle of the Gtamen, you know, we get to see what happens with him with the diamonds, and yeah, sure, fair enough. But just as a general rule of thumb, I don't really want returning characters. I very much want GTA 6 to be its own separate thing. And luckily, so far, it seems like, from the story and stuff that we have seen, that it's very much going to be a thing. I don't think even mentioning them is like worth it, right? Like you can have a little nod here and there, but what I fear that with that sort of stuff is like if you're gonna rely too much on like callbacks and that sort of things, you're just gonna end up just making like a, hey guys, remember GTA 5? It's kind of like turns into like a Call of Duty thing where they're just basically selling nostalgia every year. It's like, oh, you remember when Call of Duty was a game people actually were overly positive about? Like, I feel like constantly nostalgia baiting is just kind of like, you know, it just kind of ruins the whole experience. And I think, again, 6 would just do a lot better by just focusing on trying to be its own thing. Nostalgia baiting is unfortunately a popular thing in media these days. Oh yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, I trust Rockstar to just, you know, write a great story again and stuff.